And Trump signed a new executive order today addressing nationwide police reform. Now, under it, there would be incentives for police departments to adopt new standards for use of force. It also calls for a national database that would allow departments to track potential hires with records of abuse. And it recommends mental health professionals respond with officers to certain calls. But as WMAR 2 News' Ray Strickland tells us tonight, some feel that these reforms won't really change the problem.
Your loved ones will not have died in vain.
That was the message from President Donald Trump Tuesday at the White House, where he signed an executive order to change police practices. His words came as nationwide protests continued demanding police reform after the death of George Floyd.
To deliver a future of safety and security for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Jacqueline Roden-Trader, the chair of the Criminal Justice Department at Coppin State University, says the order came up short.
I don't believe that the needle moved at all after having had this executive order.
Among the president's reforms, creating a national database to track excessive use of force and banning chokeholds, except if the officer's life is in danger.
But how? What are the actionable? We can all have jargon, but the how, what are the deliverables? How will we do that?
Roden-Trader also said the president failed to acknowledge systemic racism in policing.
That he had the opportunity to use his 7 minutes and 40 seconds to really address the issues at hand, and he opted not to do so.
A lot of those initiatives, believe it or not, are already in place by a lot of police agencies.
Leonard Ham is a former Baltimore City Police Commissioner. Ham says policies, training, and other reforms won't work until police culture changes.
See, what normally happens to a young police officer is they'll go through a police academy and they'll be trained. Then you put them out into a district, or then you put them out into a precinct where that culture prevails, that forget everything you learned, that this is how we do this job here. It's got to change. The culture, entire culture has to change.
Ham says he's confident it will get better because majority of officers are good people. But he says the community and the police have to work together.
I'm very hopeful
in Baltimore
that it's going to change.
Ray Strickland.
I think that people are finally listening to one another.
WMAR 2 News.